Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and Rochester. Our first pitch just a couple of moments away. Luis Gil is on the mound. He also started a game over the weekend. It is, let's say, unusual to see a starting pitcher come back technically just 2 games later in the grand scheme of how this season has played out. Gil went 1 inning in Saturday's game at Worcester. That game suspended. We continued Sunday. He didn't pitch, suspended again, and here we are. Gil, basically a glorified bullpen session on Saturday against the Rochester Red Wings, and now, for the first time in his pro career, he sees, Worcester on Saturday, for the first time in his pro career, he sees the Rochester Red Wings. And leading things off, Rafael Bautista, Adrian Sanchez, Jake Knoll, 1, 2, 3 in the order against Luis Gil.
Well, there's nothing glorified about a game that's been suspended twice and still not finished, but that is what's allowing Gil to come back on just a couple of days rest. And like I said, very, very unusual, especially these days.
First pitch, foul back. We get started at 7:06 on this Wagon Wednesday. Still a little bit of time left for the Dollar Dogs tonight as well, courtesy of our friends at Sabrett. 0-1 count on Rafael Bautista. So swing and a miss, make it 0-2. 259 average, 4 homers, and 17 driven in. He was in the 9 spot of the order yesterday. He bumps up to lead off here tonight. Gil ready. Kicks and deals the 0-2. Streamed back to the netting. No balls, 2 strikes. The count remains.
It is so much of a better night here in Northeast Pennsylvania than yesterday. It is not as hot and humid. The smog, the smoke from the wildfires has gone away. The air quality is so much better today.
Another 0-2, swing and a foul back. It is, at first pitch, 73 degrees. Partly sunny skies. Northwest winds right now, a light breeze blowing out towards the rocks and lawn in right field. Variable, let's say 3 to 5 at this juncture. The 0-2 runs high and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Bautista, who in the 9th spot of the order yesterday was 0 for 4. A ball and 2 strikes. The right-hander kicks and fires a breaking pitch that's fouled towards the netting on the first base side. It forces Adrian Sanchez to duck. It was well over his head. But a lengthy battle here with pretty much nothing but strikes, save 1 ball issued by Gil, trying to jam him up and inside, the right-handed hitting outfielder. Another 1-2, swing and a miss. Pops the glove at 96 miles per hour. 1 down in the inning, and Sanchez to the plate.
A good power stuff by Luis Gil is just reared back and blew that fastball right by Rafael Bautista after setting him up nicely with a slider on the outer half of the plate on the previous pitch. He fouled it off, so then it goes high and tight with the fastball. No chance for Rafael Bautista.
1 down, top half of the first inning. Sanchez hitting .343, 3 homers, including 2 yesterday. Pitch taken upstairs. 16 runs batted in. What a night it was. Sanchez gave Rochester a 2-0 lead in the 3rd inning and gave them a 6-4 lead in the 10th. Pitch runs wide, now 2-0 the count. 3 hits and 5 at-bats, 4 runs batted in yesterday. RailRiders would tie it up and take the lead in their half of the 4th inning. A little back and forth we go. Swing and a miss here. Sanchez chases high heat at 91. But it was that home run in the 10th inning that it just looked that Scranton Wilkes-Barre had let their lead slip away. And at that moment, 2-run lead in extras. RailRiders haven't had much success in extra innings as of late. The 2-1 toss slows it down, misses outside. And clearly, Rochester was in control until the bottom half of the inning when Scranton Wilkes-Barre loaded up the bases and got a game-winning double from Donnie Sands to clear them off. Andrew Velasquez scoring all the way from first for a 7-6 win. The 3-1. Breaks one off inside. Now, 1-out walk issued. That'll send Jake Knoll to the plate. Knoll enters play on a 10-game hitting streak.
And for Luis Gil in his time with the RailRiders, walks and home runs have kind of been the two things that have plagued him. That's 18 walks for him now in 23 innings. He's given up 6 home runs in that time as well. So those are the two big keys for a lot of young pitchers, but especially for Luis Gil moving forward this season and into his future to limit both of those categories a little bit more.
Runner on at first. The first pitch to Jake Knoll is a cross at 80 for a called strike. Knoll's put together a pretty good season as well. Certainly the last 10 days have boosted his numbers. He's up to 330, 9 homers, 37 runs batted in, pitch, swing, and a foul back. That 330 average puts him 4th best in AAA East. Franchi Cordero of Worcester, 337, tied with Edward Olivares. I believe that's Nolan Lucas. Durham, 331, then Knoll, and then Hoy Park, down to 5th in the league right now. Swings and misses upstairs. Chases the 0-2 fastball high. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and that'll bring Carter Kieboom to the plate.
Set the defense for the RailRiders. Haven't had a chance to use it just quite yet as Luis Gil, but at first base it's Brandon Wagner. Second baseman is Matt Pita. Shortstop Andrew Velasquez, and over at third is Christian Perez. Outfield left to right, Thomas Malone in left, Socrates Brito in center, and Frederick Cuevas in right field with Donnie Sands catching.
First pitch fastball high and in. Kieboom was activated off the injured list yesterday, coming back from a knee and hamstring injury. Is at the top of their order, walked once, scored a run. Off speed, runs wide. Hitting .243 with 5 taken out of the yard and 23 batted in. Runner out at first, the 1-out walk of Adrian Sanchez. Heel checks over his left shoulder. The 2-0 home. Fastball knee high for a called strike with a little bit of help from Donnie Sands on the framework. Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and Rochester, a scoreless game. Top half of the first inning with the sun shining down on PNC Field. Here's a drive out towards left. Drifting over towards left center, making the catch is Socrates Brito, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk. 1 man left. We're scoreless, 3 outs in. This is RailRiders Baseball. Tyler Epler is on the mound, bottom half of the first inning. Thomas Malone, Andrew Velasquez, Socrates Brito. This was a change today, not quite late today, mid-afternoon. It was slated to be Sterling Sharp getting the start for the Rochester Red Wings, but fell ill earlier today, so that brings Epler into the rotation in this spot. First pitch from the right-hander. Thomas Malone watches a strike. Epler, 13 games, 11 starts. He's 1-6 with an 8.10 ERA for the Red Wings. The 0-1 toss, swing and a miss. Right-hander came up through the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. No balls, 2 strikes the count on Malone. The righty kicks and deals. Breaks one inside. No ball and 2 strikes on RailRiders left fielder Thomas Malone. Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, because of everything going on in New York right now. Not a whole lot of depth on the bench for Doug Davis. A swing and a miss here. Big breaking ball. 1 down in the inning, and Andrew Velasquez to the plate. But there have been times you look at a team, adversity for one reason or another, and their best way to play through it, play fundamentally strong, winning baseball. You go back to Friday with all of the call-ups on Thursday, and then Friday, Ambergy, Park, Brantley, Allen all going up. What's left for Doug Davis? Well, enough to get a 7-2 victory thanks to Donnie Sands, Matt Pita, and Glenn Otto. First pitch swinging. Lofted towards shallow center field. Velasquez pops it up to Humberto Arteaga. Shortstop makes the catch. 2 down in the inning, and that'll bring Socrates Brito to the dish.
You know what's really funny about that is ever since all those guys got called up, the RailRiders had been having all those troubles hitting home runs in the month of July. They become a bunch of mashers. 3 home runs yesterday. 4 home run game up at Worcester last week, including a couple for Estevan Florial in one night.
We're undefeated since.
Who needs them?
We've only played 2 full games since Friday. First pitch to Socrates Britos, taken for a ball. 262 clip, 6 homers, 34 batted in for the RailRiders center fielder. Pitch stroked out towards right field, down the line. Does it stay fair? It does not. Just to the right of the foul pole into the bleachers. Brito got all of it. Just a little too much foul to the right. It's close. First base umpire Paul Clemens watching that down the line.
There's a dog out on the lawn who thinks it was a fair ball. He's pointing his nose fair.
I believe that's exactly what was happening. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fastball in at the knees of Brito. It sends him feet back, body leaning forward over the plate. Now 2-1 the count.
Yeah, that's just one of those where you wish the foul pole was about 25 feet taller so that you could get a better look.
2-1 delivered low. Brito and then Donnie Sands should the inning continue here. Top half of the first goes 4 batters with a walk. 3-0. Low and outside. Bottom half of the first inning, a walk included. And now it's Donnie Sands. And over the years, I've been here since the start of the 2018 season. We've seen some prolific home runs. Mm-hmm. There's Brad Miller's halfway up the hillside seemingly on a Sunday afternoon. But Sands, that was pretty impressive. That was, and I said it last night, like Gary Sanchez kind of power, Aaron Judge kind of power. Not saying that's the progression, but that was a mammoth shot. First pitch to Sands, ground ball pulled, fouled on the third base line.
Yeah, the trajectory of that ball, the speed, the height in which it got out of here at, the fact that it hit the supports on top of the Sure Save advertisement, which is the first one just to the left of the video board in left center, that's an absolute poke. And we've seen some great right-handed power hitters in this ballpark, and can probably count on one hand the amount of times that those billboards get cleared.
Runner on at first. Pause and the pitch, taken low and away. New York Yankees are taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. That is 3 outs in. The Yankees are down 1-0. Gene Segura hits a home run 386 feet off of Asher Wojciechowski.
Oh.
Pitch taken a little low. 2 balls and a strike.
He went up.
He did.
Oh.
He was signed to a major league contract and selected to the 26-man roster. Hoyt Park was outrighted off the roster today. And there's a lot that, through this year especially, you try to learn about the language of what any of it means. Here's the 2-1 to Sands. Chased off the end of the bat foul and will take it out 2-2.
Have you learned anything? Because I've just become more and more confused about what any of it means.
Well, my simple answer is no.
Okay.
But with the COVID list and 6 players put on that COVID-19 list, that changes what you can do with your 40-man roster, and it doesn't require a designation for assignment as outrighting a player would in the past. Brito goes, Sands hits it into the air towards right field, but should be playable for Rafael Bautista. In the sun, will make the catch with a bright red glove. That ends the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk. 1 man left on the bases, 0s after 1. This is RailRiders Baseball. Top 2 scoreless so far. Scranton Wilkes-Barre hosting Rochester, game 2 of this 6-game series, the RailRiders and Red Wings. This is the first of 2 trips to PNC Field this year for Rochester. They are back September 7th through 12th in the final homestand of the regular season. And then we get 5 games against Syracuse about a week and a half later in the final stretch.
So you're saying that final homestand is the final stretch before the final stretch?
You could say that I am saying that. I don't know if that is what I'm saying that you think I'm saying, no.
So you're saying it's a bit of a stretch.
Here's the pitch. Dietrich pops it up. Headed towards the seats. Former RailRider Derek Dietrich Leading things off here in the second inning, Humberto Arteaga and Ali Castillo this half inning for the Rochester Red Wings. Dietrich's hitting .304 with the Wings, a home run and 5 runs batted in. Spent the first 2 months of the year with the RailRiders. Swing and a miss here. Falls behind in the count 0-2. For Scranton, Wilkes-Barre hit .215 over 36 games. This is game number 9 in a Red Wings uni. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. One away in the inning. Third strikeout for Luis Gil. One away in the inning. Humberto Arteaga to the plate. Derek Dietrich, by the way, RailRider, struggled a little bit in the first month of the year, and I think that was in part due to inconsistent playing time. He was good during the Syracuse series. He struggled during the first homestand. Then when we were in Rochester, he wasn't there. He was on the Yankees taxi squad in Texas. And then once he got back a couple of weeks in June, was lights out. Pitch is taken for swing and a miss, and follow that with a swing and a foul tip. But Dietrich, and Doug Davis talked about this last week, such a valuable member of this team. We should mention a special thanks to his mom, Kathy. Pitch misses high here on Arteaga. We've talked about Derek quite a bit this year, but certainly yesterday, and our Hampton Farms trivia question was about his grandfather, who's in the Red Wings Hall of Fame. Here's a pitch a little bit low. Well, Derek's mom sent us, I want to say, a bag of goodies from Panera. I think it was the entire pastry counter. And I was speaking for myself here, just blown away. Swinging a foul back by Arteaga, 2-2 the count. Thoroughly unexpected. I'm stunned by the generosity, the kind words in her note she wrote to Joe and myself about how we've talked about Derek and treated him, and here's a swing and a miss. 4 strikeout for Gil. I don't want this to go much further without saying thank you to Kathy Dietrich.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure covering your son for the time we had him, and I am certainly ruining my diet by eating as much as I possibly can here tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say my waistline's going to be pretty big after going through some of these goodies. But, yeah, thank you so much, Kathy. I mean, Adam really hit the nail right on the head with just how blown away it was to just see the gesture. That was very much appreciated.
Somebody from the front office brought this bag in and said, "You have a delivery." Here's the pitch, swing and a miss by Castillo. Like, oh, okay, that's weird. You're bringing it out to the radio booth while we're, hour and a half away from first pitch. You could just throw it on my desk or something like. Well, and then the bag is set down, and it is loaded down with box after box after box of all of the desserts from Panera. And again, Kathy, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it, and just stunned by that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Castillo watches just off the edge. Luis Gil started down the mound thinking he had the called strikeout. Maybe Jacob Metz would give him that call. Instead, it's 2-2 as Gil tries to strike out the side here in the inning, doing his best to replicate Davy Garcia's Tuesday night start. The 2-2, swing and a miss. And Luis Gil has struck out the side here in the second inning. Oh, by the way, Davy Garcia struck out the side in the second yesterday. 5 strikeouts through 2 complete for Gil. We're scoreless. RailRiders back to the plate on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders Baseball Network. Scranton Wilkes-Barre got a couple of home runs from the guy stepping to the plate and a highlight reel catch. Armando Alvarez, the designated hitter for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Well, how about it? Have a day, Alvarez. Couple of home runs and a highlight reel catch at a position that he doesn't naturally play, first base. He dove into the camera well, and we knew it was good. And we assumed it might be SportsCenter top 10 worthy. Here's the 1-0 to Alvarez, inner edge for a called strike. And it was.
Yes, numero uno on this morning's SportsCenter top 10, beating out other minor league baseball highlights, beating out the NBA Finals, start of the Olympics, all of it. Armando Alvarez.
Pitch taken low. 2 balls and a strike to count on Alvarez. Epler's toss. Crack bat. Liner out towards left field. That is going to angle foul. 3 or so feet to the left of the line. And it's now a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Some fan was very upset that was not deemed a fair ball.
I don't know if that was an come on to the ball landing foul or to the ball hooking foul and being ruled that way. Whichever it was, Alvarez is going to have to go get a new Wonder Boy out of the dugout. See if this one's got some magic in it like last night's bat.
One more quick update from the Yankees game. The very first pitch was the Segura home run. Landed in the left field seats. They're in the top half of the second inning now. Pitch is called strike 3. Alvarez down watching. That's the second strikeout for Epler. That'll bring Matt Pita, the RailRiders' second baseman, to the plate.
Before we go any further, let's set the defense for Rochester tonight. Didn't do that in the first. First baseman is Derek Dietrich. It's Adrian Sanchez at second base, Humberto Arteaga at shorts, Ali Castillo at third, Jake Nolan left, Carlos Tocci in center, Rafael Batista in right, and it's Jackson Reitz catching.
Swing and a miss here by Pita. Very young AAA career. It's been pretty good. 500 average for the infielder, outfielder. We've seen him in right field. We've seen him at second base.
It's kind of like an importer-exporter.
Right.
It's the Art Vandelay of the team.
Here's the pitch to Pita. Lined out towards center field and easily hauled in by Carlos Tocci. You want to be my latex salesman. 2 down in the inning. That'll send Brandon Wagner to the plate. Wagner hitless in his last 4 games. 145 average, 2 home runs. 10 driven in this year for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And with Chris Gittens in the big league, Derek Dietrich now a member of the Rochester Red Wings. Wagner has seen more time at first base. Pops this one foul, ranging over and making the catch is Castillo. And Wagner retired on 1 pitch to close this out here in the second inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Scoreless, 2 in. This is RailRiders Baseball. Scoreless game, 2 innings in. Taking us through the next couple of frames, here's Joe Vasile.
Well, Adam, I thank you. It'll be Jackson Reitz, Carlos Tocci, and Rafael Bautista due up against Luis Gil. Scoreless game, top of the third. Red Wings and RailRiders for the second straight night, working on a 6-game series here this week in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Reitz will eventually get ready as the first pitch on the way from Gil, swinging a chopper out towards shortstop, played on the backhand by Velasquez. He's up with it, throw low to first, but it's picked by Brandon Wagner. That gets the catcher Reitz. 1 pitch and 1 out here in the third inning as well, that's certainly one way to break up a streak of 3 straight strikeouts for Luis Gil. It's to swing at the first pitch and put it in play. But comes up for naught for the Red Wings. 1 gone. That brings up Carlos Tocci. 34 pitches now for Luis Gil through the first 8 batters he's faced. 19 in the first, 14 in the second. 4 strikeouts and a walk to his credit. First pitch, fastball in for strike to Tocci. And the count 0-1.
By my math, 35 pitches and 24 of them for strikes.
1 pitch. That's in for a strike, and the count 0-2. Yep, now up to 25 strikes. A really good job, aside from the 1 walk from Adrian Sanchez, of just pounding the strike zone. 0-2 pitch, swinging the line drive down the right field line. Lands foul. Stays 0-2 to Carlos Tocci.
Worcester is playing at Lehigh Valley this week. It's 3-1, bottom half of the second inning at Coca-Cola Park. Syracuse playing Buffalo in Trenton. That is scoreless and just underway a couple of minutes ago.
0-2 pitch. Tocci swings and misses at the elevated fastball. He goes down on strikes. First time through the lineup for Luis Gil. It is 6 strikeouts for him. Wowzers.
So yesterday's game, Davy Garcia goes 6 innings. It's the first time a RailRiders pitcher, start or relief, has gone 5 2/3 and then subsequently 6. It was the first quality start of the year for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Garcia was at 9 strikeouts, matching the best by any pitcher, and that was Davy back in May against Lehigh.
First pitch to Rafael Batista, swing and a miss at a slider that came in at 91 from Luis Gil. That is how that pitch was advertised, and we're seeing it that way for the first time tonight. High 80s to low 90s. 0-1 pitch. Change misses upstairs, and the count 1-1 now to Batista.
I don't want this to turn into some how it started versus how it's going with Gil, but 6 strikeouts the first time through the order. We have not had a RailRiders pitcher reach double figures in strikeouts in a game this year.
1-1 pitch. Breaker misses upstairs, now 2-1. Starting pitching has really started to turn the corner over the last couple of turns through the rotation, just in terms of length. As the pitch swung on and fouled back by Bautista. Now 2-2. You're starting to see guys go 5 innings with some relative consistency. And that was something that was virtually unheard of. I mean, was occasion for celebration when you got 5. 2-2 pitch. Batista swings and flies it foul. Right field line, and that'll get out of play. And a fan made a catch. Did he bring a glove? Yes, he did. Good heads up play. Stays 2-2 to Rafael Batista. But early on in the season, there were a lot of high pitch counts and a lot of short outings. Wind in the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a tapper foul. Lined, and another great catch by a fan. This one looks like a little leaguer who also brought his glove. That's why if you're a kid, you bring a glove, and if you're an adult, you just, come on, use your hands. That's my stance anyway. I don't know. Pitch swung and a tapper out in front of the plate. Sands picks it up, fires on to first. That's in time to get Bautista. And that'll do it for the Rochester Red Wings in the top of the 3rd inning. No score to the bottom of the 3rd as Luis Gil is set down 8 in a row since the 1st inning walk. This is RailRiders Baseball. Go to the bottom of the 3rd inning at PNC Field. No score between the Rochester Red Wings and the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders, as neither team has been able to get a hit yet in this game. Both got a walk in the 1st inning, and outside of that, nothing doing for the offenses. But we'll see if that turns with Frederick Cuevas leading things off for Scranton Wilkes-Barre here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cuevas, lefty batter. First pitch he sees in AAA is swung on and hit out towards second base. 2 big hops for Adrian Sanchez, who gloves and throws on to first. In time to get Cuevas, who was just called up from Hudson Valley High A yesterday. One up and one set aside on just 1 pitch for Tyler Epler here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up Christian Perez. Perez hitting 176 for the RailRiders in a couple of brief stints. First pitch to him is in for a called strike. Count 0-1. Perez 1 out of 4 with a run scored yesterday. He was the automatic runner in the 10th inning, who first guy to come in on that Donnie Sands game-winning double. Swings and fouls this one off from the first base side. And same fan who just caught a ball last half inning with his glove goes over and picks it up. So that kid has already gotten 2 more foul balls than I've ever gotten in my life. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Pitch to Perez, misses down in the dirt. Count 1-2. After Christian Perez, Thomas Malone on deck as the RailRiders get set to go through the order the second time against Tyler Epler, who came in with those well-documented struggles this year. ERA north of 8 his last time out. Got the loss, gave up 6 runs in a 1/3 of an inning against Syracuse. So the 1-2 misses. Now 2-2 to him. Gave up 10 runs in a game against Buffalo last month. Pitch swing and a liner to first base, grabbed by Dietrich off a short hop. He steps on the bag at first, all the while showing Paul Clemens, the first base umpire, trying to convince him that he caught it on the fly. Either way, Dietrich gets the put out of Perez. Now to bring up Thomas Malone as Tyler Epler is one time through the lineup for the Rochester Red Wings on just 28 pitches. Still has not allowed a hit. First pitch to Malone. This is low and outside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Epler spent all of last year at the Nationals' alternate training site in Fredericksburg. 1-0 pitch, swinging a broken bat, ground ball to first base. Dietrich scoops this one up, no doubt. This time he'll take it to the bag and keep running all the way into the dugout and flip the ball into the stands for a fan. A 1-2-3 inning for the RailRiders. In the bottom of the third, no score to the fourth. This is RailRiders baseball. Go to the top of the fourth inning at PNC Field. Still no score between the Rochester Red Wings and the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders. Adrian Sanchez, Jake Knoll, Carter Keyboom due up against Luis Gil. Second time through the lineup. First pitch on the way is a fastball in for a strike to Sanchez, and the count 0-1. Sanchez, only Rochester player to reach base, drew a walk back in the first inning. Luis Gil has set down 8 in a row since then. Pitch, swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. Nice night for baseball here in Northeast Pennsylvania. The air quality much better than it was yesterday. All the smog that was in the air. The pitch, tap foul at the plates. Do it again at 0-2 to Sanchez. There were some relatively brief but intense thunderstorms that rolled through overnight, and suspect that helped to break up a lot of that, and certainly helped break up the humidity. 72 degrees, partly sunny at first pitch today. Nothing in 2 to Sanchez. Heel deals the pitch outside for a ball. And the count 1-2.
Unlike last night as well, there's at least that light breeze blowing around the ballpark here. Everything was very stagnant last night. The flags aren't showing it at this time, but you can see the trees wavering on the hillside.
1-2 pitch. Sanchez swings and misses at the fastball for strike 3. Goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That is strikeout number 7 for Luis Gil through 3 1/3 innings. I'm gonna bring up Jake Knoll. You know, we were talking a little earlier in the season about Manny versus Manny being Manny, and I think it was the subject of a Hampton Farms Peanuts trivia question.
It was the first use of that phrase.
First pitch to Jake Knoll is in for a strike, count 0-1. Well, I guess it's the 30th anniversary of the beginning of his professional career back in 1991. This pitch swung on and missed by Jake Knoll. And Zach Meisel, I don't know how his last name is pronounced, but he writes for The Athletic and put up a piece today about some of the greatest Manny being Manny moments. Especially in those first 10 years, it focused on his time with the Cleveland Indians before he went to Boston. Pitch misses low and outside. It's now 1-2, and that's really where the legend of Manny being Manny began.
See, I always thought it more of the Red Sox era, where he was more eccentric as to how he approached the game and disappearing into the green monster.
1-2 pitch misses upstairs, and the count's now 2-2 to Jake Knoll.
But okay, wherever the story actually begins.
But it just goes through interviews a lot of his old teammates and things like that. As the 2-2 pitch, swinging a line drive, hit out to deep right field, crossing up Frederick Cuevas, but he retreats and changes course and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Jake Knoll retired on the deep drive to right field. 2 gone, and that brings up Carter Keyboom. In this, there was the story of him confusing O.J. Simpson and Chad O.J. during the White Bronco chase, thinking that everyone was watching the Indians pitcher getting chased around by highway patrol. I mean, that's the story that gets me every time. First pitch to Carter Keyboom, swinging a fly ball, shallow left center field. Malone, Brito, and Velasquez converging, and it's the left fielder Thomas Malone coming in to make the catch. Keyboom retired, and it is 11 in a row set down by Luis Gil in this ball game. We are through 3.5. Still no hits for anybody. This is RailRiders baseball. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. No score between the RailRiders and the Rochester Red Wings. Andrew Velasquez leads things off for Scranton Wilkes-Barre, followed by Socrates Brito and Donnie Sands against Tyler Epler here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As Velasquez digs in his walk-up song, a song done by a friend of his at Fordham High School. Pitch misses outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes.
Is that what that is?
It's a song that was a friend of his, yes. Pitch chopped down the ground towards second base. Sanchez up with it. Sidearms on to first. Time to retire Andrew Velasquez, 4-3. He's gone for the first out, and that'll bring up Socrates Brito.
I know a couple people have tried to Shazam that and figure out what it is. Good to know.
Yes, it is a song called Canvas by ANC featuring Jules. Jewels. It's the first pitch to Socrates Brito. Misses a skosh outside. The count 1 ball and no strikes. So there you go. Why Shazam it when you can Joe it?
Oh, boy.
That's the pitch to Brito. Swing and a drive. Deep to right field. No foul pole this time. Over the rail house for Socrates Brito. And the RailRiders take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. A mammoth blast by Brito.
Demolished off the bat, and after that near home run in his first inning at bat, this was more of a leave no doubt in their mind. Clearing the rail house and putting it through the tree just beyond that seating section out in right field.
And just a very Socrates Brito home run. A high arcing line drive or low fly ball, however you want to arc it. First pitch to Donnie Sands, misses off the plate away, count 1-0. Hard hit, got out in a hurry and went a long way. Sands 0 for 1, waits the 1-0, and it misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Got a Hampton Farms trivia question for you this half inning.
We most certainly do. Wind in the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a ground ball hit up the middle. Second baseman in the shift, Sanchez, bobbles the ball, and Sands is safe at first base. And we'll see if this goes down as an error against Sanchez or a hit for Sands. I would think a hit just because Sanchez was in the shift, had a long way to go to get to it, but with the catcher Sands running, if he fields it cleanly, probably has a chance to get Sands at first base. So one of those real 50-50 balls, and it does go up as a hit on the scoreboard.
It was a long way to run with that shift, and you're right, he had the chance to make a play on it.
First pitch to Alvarez is in for a strike, count 0-1. And I think that if memory serves me right, it might have changed over the years. The standard isn't an above-average effort, and it certainly was that for Sanchez. It was not a normal play to make. Pitch misses low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Alvarez.
I also think the back half of that, if you look at it as fielding and then turning and making the throw, his momentum carrying him out towards the foul pole, he would have to stop and pivot, and that might buy enough time. But you're right, 50-50, and RailRiders get the benefit here.
Swinging a ground ball hit back to the mound. Epler up with it, throws to second for 1, relay to first high, but in time to get Alvarez as Dietrich makes the snare at first base, throws the ball around the horn, and that'll do it for the RailRiders in the bottom of the 4th inning. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Luis Gil back to the mound before he faces Derek Dietrich. We'll pause 10 seconds for station ID. You're listening to RailRiders Baseball. Tell you about the 5th inning, here's Adam Marco.
Thank you very much, Joe. 1-0 RailRiders. Derek Dietrich trying to even it up on one big swing. Takes this one, however, foul over top of the bleachers out of play down the right field line. Dietrich's 0 for 1. Had 3 hits in his return to Music yesterday. Heel deals, swing and a miss here. 11 in a row, retired by Luis Gil. We still owe you a Hampton Farms trivia question. That was a relatively quick bottom half of the 4th inning. Included a couple of hits and a homer. The 0-2 toss misses up and away. On this day in 1988, the Yankees made a trade. They traded Jay Buhner, Rich Balaban, and a player to be named later, Troy Evers. Pitch taken low and skips off of Donnie Sands.
How could they do that?
Well, your trivia question is, who did they acquire in this trade that sent Jay Buhner to the Mariners, and of course became a secondary star of sorts for the Mariners behind Ken Griffey Jr. Dietrich a swing and a miss. Gil gets his 8th strikeout, 12 in a row retired. It is immortalized in the show Seinfeld. Frank Costanza, George's dad, lamenting the trade. How could you have traded Buhner for, well, blank? That gives you the answer. One down. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 Scranton, Wilkes-Barre. First pitch runs low into the dirt to Humberto Arteaga. So your trivia question, who did the Yankees acquire when they gave up Jay Buhner and others in 1988 on this day? Thus, irritating Frank Costanza for decades to come. Swinging a foul back. Now 1-1 the count on Arteaga, who struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. The 1-1. Drives it down to the right field corner. After it goes Cuevas onto the warning track. Will make the catch just in front of the outfield wall. 2 down in the inning. And Ali Castillo heads to the plate, another former RailRider. I think you know the answer to this one or you don't. There's not a whole lot. We could give some stats that might help you out, but I think you just know or you don't.
You either watched Seinfeld or you didn't.
Or you were a Yankees fan and you were as frustrated as a fictional character. First pitch taken high, maybe a little inside as well on Castillo. 0 for 1 with the strikeout of his own.
I mean, now, in fairness to the Yankees for trading Jay Buhner at that point.
Here's the pitch. Taken for a strike.
His career arc does raise questions.
Okay.
You know.
Here's the 1-1. Check the swing, appeal to first, and Donnie Sands gets 0 help from Paul Clemens. 2 balls and a strike to count.
So, you know, you never know. Maybe, I mean, but that's what Steinbrenner did anyway.
2-1 outer edge on the fastball.
Trade the farm, bring in veteran, short-term solutions. So I end up dealing away Doug Drabeck.
The 2-2. Line drive towards right field. Cuevas on the move back, and this is, wow, hauled in. It didn't look good, but Frederick Cuevas is there to make the catch. It looked like it was going to play over top of his head. Just reaches up and grabs on the move. And Luis Gil has now retired 14 straight. No runs, no hits, nobody left. 1-0 Scranton Wilkes-Barre. 4.5 innings in. This is RailRiders Baseball. Matt Pita leads off the home half of the 5th inning. 1-0 Scranton Wilkes-Barre in front. No runs, no hits, no errors for Rochester. 1 run, 2 hits. No errors for the RailRiders. Pita's 0 for 1 with a line out to center. First pitch from Epler is taken for a strike. Rochester Red Wings broadcaster Josh Wetzel popping in between half innings there, reminding us in his last appearance, Tyler Epler threw 40 pitches and got 1 out. Today, he has gone through 4 complete innings on 41 pitches. Next offering taken low. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch to Pita runs in, almost clipped the Yankees logo on the left sleeve. 2-1 the count. Socrates Brito, home run in the 4th inning, his 7th of the year, 35 batted in now. Pitch to Pita, line drive, base hit. Just dropped the shoulders a little bit and reaches out to chase that breaking ball. Leadoff single, now Brandon Wagner to the plate. Your Hampton Farms trivia question on this date in '88. The Yankees traded Jay Buhner, Rich Balaban, and Troy Evers eventually to the Mariners in exchange for what player? The one-sided deal was later immortalized in Seinfeld. Frank Costanza, George's father, when he laments the Bronx Bombers' poor judgment. How could you have traded Buhner for? Here's a toss to first base, back safely as Pita. And the answer is?
Ken Phelps.
Yes, it was. I love that show.
I know.
I like a good trade, but I absolutely love that show. Pitch taken low on Wagner. 0 for 1, the first pitch he saw in his other at-bat. Popped it up foul. Want to know the count, runner on at first base. Epler's toss, Wagner watches low. So you're talking about career arcs, and I see you have Baseball Reference up there. Which career arc are you speaking of first?
Well, right now I've got Ken Phelps is up. And Phelps, before the trade that year with Seattle, was hitting .284, .434 on base percentage. Wasn't a big stolen base guy, but was playing really well.
Base hit through the right side of the infield. Pita's going to try to go first to third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off middle of the infield. Runners on the corners after back-to-back base hits by Matt Pita and Brandon Wagner.
The problem is after that, Phelps hit just .224 for the New York Yankees down the stretch. Hit .249 the next year before he was traded to the Oakland A's for somebody named Scott Holcomb, who never made the major leagues. Topped out 16 games with AAA Columbus in 1992.
So in 1988, Jay Buhner was 23 years old. Pitch taken down and in on Frederick Cuevas, a left-handed hitting outfielder. Buhner hit 25 games for the Yankees, 188, 3 homers, 13 batted in. A 1-0, called strike on the outer half. I'm not going to say he blossomed in 60 games that year, but hit .224, 10-25 for Seattle. But then .275 with 9 homers. He hit his stride in the early 90s. Swing and a foul tip. Now 1-2 the count.
Yeah, the thing with Buhner, and it's the thing you're going to get with any single player who played in the 1990s. And that's his best years were when he was 30, 31, and 32, which is typically just on the other side of your prime, about 27 to 30.
The 1-2 toss, down and in.
And those years also happened to be 1995, 96, and 97, when he went from being a 25 home run a year guy to being a 40 home run a year guy.
So you're saying it's question marks?
I think, deservedly or not, yes, there are question marks.
The pitch, bouncing ball towards second. Will bring in a run for the RailRiders. They'll get just 1 out at second to the Red Wings. It was an awkward flip to the second base bag by Adrian Sanchez in time to get Brandon Wagner off the bases. On at first on the fielder's choice is Cuevas, and coming in to score is Matt Pita. Fielder's choice makes it a 2-0 game. Scranton Wilkes-Barre in the lead. Rochester does have an arm getting started out in its bullpen. That is right-hander Brian Bonnell. First pitch, ground ball towards short. The toss to second is one, relay to first in time, and Christian Perez hits into a double play. That erases Cuevas and Perez himself. 6-4-3 double play will close the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, and nobody left on. It's 2-0, Scranton Wilkes-Barre in the lead. 5 innings complete on the RailRiders Baseball Network. 2-0 game, Scranton Wilkes-Barre with runs in the 4th and the 5th. On to the 6th to tell you about the next few. Here's Joe.
Well, Adam, I thank you, as Luis Gil has been just absolute dynamite. Retired 14 straight batters and now will face Jackson Reeds, Carlos Tocci, and Rafael Bautista here in the 6th inning. Trying to hang on to this 2-0 lead. First pitch on the way to Reeds. Fastball misses low and outside. Count 1 ball and no strikes. Couple of nifty plays, nifty being a relative term for Frederick Cuevas in right field. As the pitch misses to Reeds, it's now 2-0. Got turned around a couple of times, tracking fly balls, but was able to recover and make the catch. Keep this streak of consecutive batters retired alive. Heel winds, 2-0 pitch. Fastball just a little bit upstairs. Now 3 balls and no strikes to Jackson Reeds, who grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Reeds has not walked yet in AAA, and now the 3-0 pitch misses upstairs for ball 4. Changes that there. Second walk issued by Luis Gil tonight. Breaks up the streak of those 14 in a row set down since a first inning walk, and that'll bring up Carlos Tocci. RailRiders will shift the infield into double play depth with the center fielder Tocci up at the plates. Struck out swinging his first time up, one of 8 strikeout victims so far for Luis Gil. Set the first pitch. Misses off the plate inside. Ball, no strikes, and it's 5 in a row out of the strike zone for Gil. Start this top of the 6th inning. Some stirring beginning in the RailRider bullpen as the 1-0 pitch. This is loaded Tocci. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. And it's 6 straight out of the strike zone for Gil, and now Donnie Sands calls time and will head out to the mounds. Talk things over with Gil.
We got Reggie McClain stretching the arms. It was Nick Green feigning warm-up pitches on the bullpen mound with his warm-up top still on.
New York Yankees right now trailing Philadelphia Phillies 2-0. Asher Wojciechowski through 3 innings has allowed 2 runs, but the pitch count very high. 67 pitching to the first batter in the 4th. The 2-0 pitch is in for strike Tocci. It's now 2-1. Worcester's taken a 3-1 lead over Lehigh Valley. Syracuse leads Buffalo 2-0. 2-1 pitch. Tocci swings and flies it foul down the right field line. It's well out of play. And the count remains now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carlos Tocci. The AAA East leading Durham Bulls lead the Charlotte Knights 7-2 right now. Going to the top of the 6th inning at the DBAP. Former RailRider Will Carter was just in for Charlotte. Pitch hit on the ground on the left side of the infield. Play by the shortstop Velasquez to second for 1. And the ball dropped on the transfer by Matt Pita at second base with Jackson Reeds bearing down. Carlos Tocci reaches safely-ish at first base. Fielder's choice goes 6-4. 1 gone in the inning. And I think even with a clean transfer for Pita, it's going to be a bang-bang play at first base. No guarantee Tocci would have been doubled up on that ball hit into the hole, but at least you get the lead runner out. 1 gone, and now Rafael Bautista at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a ground out to the catcher Sands on a little tapper in front of the plates. He'll set the pitch. Bautista swings and grounds it up the third baseline. Played by on the backhand by Perez. Goes to second for 1. Pita makes the play, hurdles the runner, does not attempt to throw to first. For the second straight batter, a fielder's choice ground out erases the lead runner. This time it's Tocci. Rafael Bautista now aboard at first, but 2 outs in the inning, and Adrian Sanchez to the plates.
I think that Perez played that as best he possibly could, and going to second was the right call, the way his momentum got to the ball, stopped, and nearly launched that into right field. Nice job by Pita to save his third baseman plus get the out.
First First pitch to Adrian Sanchez, swung on and fouled straight back. Right to the backstop, count 0-1.
There's a whole lot of force on that throw by Perez, just trying to get it there in time to get the lead runner, thinking maybe we can turn two with it.
It is Reggie McLean now up and throwing in the RailRider bullpen. Brian Bonnell continues to warm for the Rochester Red Wings. No balls and a strike, 2-0 RailRiders, top of the 6th. 2 outs and a runner on first base. The pitch from Gil. Breaking ball just missed upstairs. It's now 1-1 to Adrian Sanchez. One of 2 to reach base safely today for Rochester. Walk back in the first inning and struck out swinging his last time up. Gil will look over at first base where Brandon Wagner holds on Rafael Batista. Now the 1-1 pitch, swing and a foul straight back. Tapper into the netting behind home plate, now 1-2. For the most part, the fastball has been the strikeout pitch tonight for Luis Gil. He's used it to rack up 8 of them. At least 1 in every inning, though he does not have one here in the 6th. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, and then 1 each in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. From the stretch, he works with the runner on. The 1-2 pitch. This is upstairs at the changeup. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adrian Sanchez. Two. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The inning is over. It is 6 spotless innings for Luis Gil and a 2-0 RailRiders lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is RailRiders baseball. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The RailRiders at 2-0 lead over the Rochester Red Wings. And we have a new pitcher in the game for the Rochester Red Wings, coming into the greatest of all baseball songs, Who Let the Dogs Out, by the Baja Men. It is right-hander Brian Bonnell in to replace Tyler Epler, second pitcher of the game for Rochester after Epler in the spot start, goes 5 innings, gives up 2 runs on 4 hits. Not really a whole lot more that Rochester could have asked out of him today.
It is a bark in the park. I mean, I think this song is acceptable 1 day a week, a Wagon Wednesday, regardless of who's coming in. Epler goes 5 innings, 4 hits, the 2 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Bonnell out of the bullpen, 1-2 with a 4.04 ERA. This is his 18th appearance of the year.
First pitch to Thomas Malone is a fastball in at the knees for a called strike. And the count 0-1 is Tyler Epler on the hook for the loss, which would be his 7th, but really pitched a really good ball game on short notice. Pitch misses low to Malone, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. No, the reason why I say that, well, there's several reasons I say that about the song Who Let the Dogs Out, but many years ago, as the pitch to Malone runs inside, count 2 balls and a strike. When that song first came out, I believe it was the year 2000, there was a radio DJ at the top hits station in New York City. He was a big Mets fan. 2-1 pitch in for a strike, count 2-2 to Thomas Malone.
Am I holding this against him or just wait?
Just wait. Yeah, okay. You can make up your own decision. But anyway, he went through and he did a parody of that song that was Who Let the Mets Out. It's the 2-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball, rolled to the right side of the infield. Dietrich plays it on the backhand, flips to Bonnell covering the bag at first. And Thomas Malone retired 3-1 on the ground out. 1 gone, bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 RailRiders, and Angel Velasquez now to the plate. And the Mets really adopted that and rolled with it, and they play it on the video board at Shea Stadium during big rallies and stuff like that. They're getting to a reliever, and they play the Who Let the Dogs Out song, but the one that was all Metsified.
Sure. And the Baja Men were okay with this?
They must have been.
Okay.
If not, they didn't say bunk. First pitch to Velasquez, switch hitter batting left. This is inside, count 1-0. So I always associate that song with being at Shea Stadium and watching the Mets play the Atlanta Braves when that rivalry was heated, and John Rocker coming into a game and 1-0 pitch misses low. Count 2-0 to Velasquez. And that song blaring and fans going crazy. And
Well, I mean, they're
not that the fans needed any reason other than John Rocker to go crazy, but
sure. Grown men have been known to weep when hearing "Who Let the Dogs Out."
I told you that in confidence. The 2-0 pitch fouled straight back by Velasquez. It's now 2-1. Well, I wonder wherever the Baja men are these days. I hope they're living comfortably
I'm
off of
sure
that
they
Let
are
the
doing
Dogs
well.
Out money. The 2-1 to Velasquez. Swing and a rip out towards left center field. Some carry on it, and that's going to one-hop over the wall for a grounds rule double for Andrew Velasquez. Just an absolute laser beam. You don't often see balls on that trajectory have enough bounce on them to get over the top of the wall for a ground rule double. That one had such exit velocity on it for Velasquez that has to stop at second as he was smelling 3 all the way. So now Socrates Brito, solo home run his last time up after a walk in his first at-bat. Sad to see Tyler Epler go. 2-0 RailRiders, runner on second, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. That is the 5th hit for the RailRiders and the 5th hit overall in the game for both teams. First pitch to Brito, misses low, count 1 ball and no strikes.
To the best of what I'm seeing here, the Baja men performed on season 14 of The Bachelorette.
But what was that like last year, and now they're on season 27 or
2018.
Why? Spinning a throwback to second, and Velasquez is in safely.
Why do you even need to ask? They are, well, that season was in the Bahamas, and it is, well, the Baja men are from the Bahamas, New Providence.
That explains why they are the Baja men. B-A-H-A.
Correct.
Pitch misses low to Brito. Count 2 balls and no strikes. It appears as if they're touring.
I'm in. Where are we going?
Tinker Field in Orlando, Florida, at the iJam Music Festival, but that got postponed.
Oh.
To be made up at a date TBA.
Hopefully after the final stretch.
Pitch to Brito, swinging a foul straight back. Count 2 balls and a strike.
I will admit to you, and only you, I have seen the Baja men in concert.
Tell me more.
Summer of 2000, in fact. They performed.
Wow, that's at the height of their power.
It was. They performed a summer stretch concert with Smash Mouth and the Baja men.
Oh, man. I'm sorry. 2-1 pitch to Brito, misses outside. It's now 3-1. That is peak Smash Mouth also. I mean,
you need not
All-Star
apologize.
had just come out.
You need not apologize. It was glorious.
Amazing. That is the most random pairing for a concert. 3-1 pitch, misses low to Socrates Brito. That's ball 4. Ground rule double for Andrew Velasquez and a walk to Socrates Brito puts runners on first and second. 1 out in the inning, and now Donnie Sands to the plate. Jackson Reitz out to the mound to go talk to Brian Bennell.
I don't think it is a stretch of a concert whatsoever. It was a Summerfest type show. You know,
okay.
What are the sounds of summer? Well, it is clearly
It is
Smash Mouth and the Baja men.
Oh, gosh.
And that was a concert that I remember I went to and I bought tickets for.
Oh,
As opposed to, I interned at a top 40 radio station and a country radio station. So I went to a lot of shows that summer. NSYNC was big, Britney Spears concert. My favorite of that summer was the Bare Naked Ladies tour,
ooh, yeah.
which I saw a couple of years ago when they were touring with Hootie and the Blowfish.
If I had $1 million. First pitch down in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Reitz and the runners advance. Velasquez down to third. Socrates Brito down to second. Didn't get that far away from Reitz, but good dirt ball reads by the both of them. How about that? Now runners on second and third.
And that is all predicated on Andrew Velazquez leading it. When he sees the ball get away from Reeds and out of the circle, basically turning the catchers back towards third base to get it, that just absolutely opens the path for Velazquez to get there, and Brito followed suit.
Pitch, and swings and flies it in the air to right field. Rafael Bautista gets it into sights, makes the catch, tagging from third, heading home, Andrew Velazquez, and he scores as the throw goes in toward third base. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Donnie Sands, and the RailRiders lead is now 3-0. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, a run in each of the last three frames for Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Certainly a conscious decision by Bautista to try to get Brito at third to see if he goes, or at least keep him at second, thinking Velazquez is quick. We saw that on display in the 10th inning yesterday. So I'll take my chances on trying to keep that additional runner without advancing.
First pitch on the way to Armando Alvarez, misses for ball one, or rather, in for called strike, pardon. Count 0-1. The most random concert pairing, it's not even that random, but I once saw Quiet Riot and Warrant.
No, not
play
random.
A show.
No.
The pitch, swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2.
I think you just have phenomenal taste in music.
I didn't do it on. Well, I did. I guess I did do it on purpose.
I mean, they're 80s hair bands. I think it works.
Yeah, it was a free concert. Pitch.
Even better.
This is low and outside. It's now 1-2. It was at the Dogwood Festival in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Country singer, you might know him. I don't. Craig Campbell played on Friday night, and then Saturday night's headliners were Quiet Riot and Warrant. Pitch swung on and fouled back. Do it again at 1-2 to Alvarez. This is in 2015, so this is not peak for either of those two bands, and I believe it's a lot like that allegory of the ship where you replace each individual part. Is it really the original ship? I'm sure both of those bands completely turned over from their heyday. 1-2 pitch, swinging a foul back by Alvarez. We'll do it again at 1-2. It's the RailRiders, 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. The Rochester Red Wings, 0-0 and nothing. Bennell's set, the 1-2. Alvarez checks his swing, lays off the slider off the plate away. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matt Pita on deck. Keep what's been a good start to his AAA career going. Pitch, swing and a pop-up, hit off the fists. Middle of the infield, it's Dietrich dropping the ball behind the mound. In to score from second, Socrates Brito. And instead of the inning being over, the RailRiders have scored another run on the error from Derek Dietrich.
Committed a couple errors with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. That's his first in a few games with Rochester. Over to first base, Dietrich into the year of Armando Alvarez for a second.
First pitch to Matt Pita, misses low for ball 1. That's why you always run those out when you're on the bases. Just keep on running with 2 outs. You never know what happens. 1-0 pitch, swing, a ground ball hit to the left side. Castillo to cut it off. He throws on to second. That retires Armando Alvarez, and will do it for the RailRiders in the 6th inning. But they scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 massive error and 1 left on base. 4-0 Scranton Wilkes-Barre to the top of the 7th. This is RailRiders baseball. Top of the 7th inning, it's a 4-0 lead for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders over the Rochester Red Wings. Luis Gil, 6 no-hit innings in the books, 84 pitches, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, and obviously no runs allowed. He now gives way to right-hander Reggie McLean in out of the bullpen for Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
McLean 5-1. That's tied for the team lead in victories. An 0.58 ERA, 31 innings, 35 strikeouts, 13 walks, and a 160 average against the right-hander, who's been, well, as the ERA suggests, downright dominating this year in a RailRiders uni.
Reggie McLean, a 0.58 earned run average, as he said. Last pitch on Friday night at Worcester, picked up his 5th win of the season, tied with Braden Bristow for most wins on the roster. In an inning and 2/3, struck out 4 Woo Sox. His first pitch to Jake Knoll, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Jake Knoll, Carter Keyboom, and Derek Dietrich to up here in the top of the 7th for the Rochester Red Wings. McLean set, the 1-0 pitch. This is low, maybe a little outside as well. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. Elsewhere around AAA East Northeast, they're in the bottom of the 3rd in Trenton. The game was delayed at the start because of some rain in the area. The pitch just missed outside. Now 3-0 to Jake Knoll. 2-0 lead for the Syracuse Mets over the Buffalo Bisons. Albert Almora, 2-run single for Syracuse, giving them that lead. 3-0. It's into the knees for a strike to Knoll, and the count now 3-1. Worcester and Lehigh Valley in a close contest, 4-3. Woo Sox on top. Odubel Herrera, a home run. Chad De La Guerra's got a home run for the Woo Sox. A 3-run shot nonetheless. Now the 3-1 pitch, hit on the ground deep in the hole at shortstop. Velasquez up with it. He throws to first. That's in time to retire Jake Knoll. 1 gone here in the top of the 7th inning as Reggie McLean retires the first batter he faces. Now to bring up Carter Keyboom. Still nothing in the hit column for the Rochester Red Wings. Through 6 1/3 innings, now the cleanup man Keyboom at the plate, who's 0 for 2. Couple of flyouts against Luis Gil tonight. McLean stretches out the arms, now deals the first pitch, swinging a tapper foul at home plate. Rolls to the backstop, count 0-1 to Keyboom. There's some action out in the Rochester bullpen. Looks like Ronald Pena beginning to throw, a right-hander. McLean comes set, now the 0-1. Slider was close, but just missed. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. Derek Dietrich on deck for Rochester, looking to atone for an error. Bottom of the 6th inning. We'll have a chance with a runner on base. The 1-1, swing and a miss. It's now 1-2 to Carter Keyboom as Reggie McLean certainly has other ideas in his minds. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Took a little something off that one, did Reggie McLean, and had Keyboom way out front. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. 10 strikeouts now for RailRiders pitchers. 9 for Luis Gil and 1 for Reggie McLean. Now Dietrich up to the plate, a 4-0 lead for the RailRiders. RailRiders put the shift on against the lefty Dietrich and calls time at the plate, steps out, knocks some dirt off his cleats, digs back in. First pitch to him, big swing and miss, count 0-1. Something I just noticed, Derek Dietrich, when he was with the RailRiders, wore kind of an off-white bit of armor on his right arm, his tricep protecting the elbow. Here at the Red Wings, he's wearing a red one. Pitch on the inside corner called the strike, 0-2, and it has a Cincinnati Reds logo on it. I'm going to go ahead and just assume that is a holdover from when he was with Cincinnati in 2019. But it matches the Red Wings color scheme to a T. The 0-2 pitch, swinging a tapper, foul at the plate. Do it again at 0-2.
He also has an arm sleeve on the right arm this time through. We don't remember that during any of the 2 months with Scranton Wilkes-Barre, at least not June.
Yeah. Maybe in early April when it was cold up in Syracuse, he had the sleeves on. Pitch, down in the dirt. Got 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roberto Arteaga on deck for Rochester. Hoping for a chance here in this inning, but chances have been few and far between for Rochester tonight. Ball and 2 strikes. McLean deals the pitch, swing, and a ground ball foul. First baseline and over toward the camera well that made Armando Alvarez a household name this morning. At least among households who watch ESPN's Sports Center. Some light calisthenics out in the RailRiders bullpen. Ronald Pena already in the Rochester one. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a fly ball hit in the air pretty well to center field. Chasing Brito back, but he has room. And he makes the catch, and we're through 7. It's a 4-0 lead for the RailRiders. The Rochester Red Wings still looking for hit number 1. Time to get up and stretch at PNC Field. This is RailRiders baseball. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 4-0 lead for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders over the Rochester Red Wings. And the Wings going to dip into the bullpen once again. Call to the bullpen presented by UGI and Pennsylvania 811, remembering and reminding you to call before you dig. Brian Bonnell is done, and into pitch in the 7th, it is Ronald Pena.
No wins, no losses, 4.73 ERA, his 19th appearance this season. 26 and 2/3 innings, 27 strikeouts to 15 walks, a 257 average against the right-hander. Pena, a native of West Palm, Florida, 16th round choice in 2012. Didn't pitch last year due to the pandemic.
Luis Gil was simply tremendous for the RailRiders today. 6 no-hit innings in this start, following up on a great start by Davey Garcia last night. One-upping him. Reggie McLean said Rochester down 1-2-3 in the 7th. Now the RailRiders trying to get some more distance between them and the Wings as the first pitch misses outside. It's Brandon Wagner in the count, 1 ball and no strikes.
Update coming for you from New York. Phillies and Yankees in the top half of the 5th inning. Score is different.
That is good. The 1-0 pitch to Wagner misses high and outside, down 2-0.
It is good.
Okay, good.
It's now a 2-2 game. Gleyber Torres with a homer, and Greg Allen doubling in Brett Gardner.
Cha-cha-cha. All right. Boy, Greg Allen has been really good since going up. 2-0 pitch in for a strike, count 2-1. He's been so good to the point that I saw several, not one, but several New York sports columnists dedicating column inches to Greg Allen this week. Good for him. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's now 2-2. He was always one of those guys that when he was here, you looked at and went, all right, when is he going to get his chance to go up? He's got the big league time. He's, playing well for the RailRiders. He's proven that he probably deserved the chance to go up and try to do something, and now shining in the opportunity that he's getting. 2-2 to Wagner, misses high and outside. It's now 3-2.
4 games played. He's batting .500, including tonight. And you have to look back to mid-May when he got hurt. He might have been the choice to go up over Ryan Lamar in mid-May, but Allen was on the injured list. Lamar goes to the big leagues.
3-2 pitch to Wagner on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Wagner goes down looking for the first out of the inning. It's just the 3rd strikeout for Rochester pitching tonight. 2 for Tyler Epler, none for Brian Bonnell. And now that'll bring up Frederick Cuevas for the 3rd time. An RBI ground out his last time up. 0 for 2 overall tonight. Cuevas, a lefty batter. First pitch, checked his swing. Did he go? They appealed. Yes, he did. Ryan Wills over at third base rings up Cuevas. I think made the right call. The naked eye looked like he went. Count 0-1. Cuevas was hitting .233 with an OPS of about .690 with high A Hudson Valley this year. As he swings and hits this one off the end of the bat down the left field line for a base hit. It's going to roll to the corner as Cuevas cuts first and heads into second base. And he'll be there standing with a one-out double here in the bottom of the 7th inning. With the shift on, the left side of the infield was open. Not that the third baseman Castillo would have had a chance at that one, I don't think. But the outfield was also shifted for Cuevas to pull, and so a ton of room down the line in left field. And that allowed Cuevas to get in for a double. That'll bring up Christian Perez. Now the man on second and one out. 12th double of the year for Cuevas between his time here and in Hudson Valley. First pitch. In for a called strike to Perez, count 0-1. Christian Perez 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground outs, including once into a double play. Getting a little bit dark. It's that dusk hour here in northeast Pennsylvania. 0-1 pitch. This is low to Perez. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Some blues and pinks up in the air. The lights on, doing all the work down in the fields. 1-1 pitch. Perez swings and lines this one down the left field line. That's in for a base hit. Around third, Cuevas comes in to score. The ball bobbled by Jake Nolan in left field, but of no consequence. As Perez is into second base standing, it's back-to-back doubles for the RailRiders, plating a run in the bottom of the 7th inning. And it's now a 5-0 lead for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Now that'll bring up Thomas Malone. Leadoff man up for the 4th time today for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. RailRiders 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Rochester, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. First pitch to Malone misses low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. The RailRider bullpen is quiet, so presume Reggie McLean to go back out to at least start the 8th inning. The 1-0 pitch from Pena, swing a line drive hit in the air to center field. Tochi coming in, he's not going to get there. Ball's in front of him, he knocks it down to keep it in front of him for just the single from Malone. Had a hard time picking the ball up, bobbled it a couple of times, but by that point, Christian Perez had already thrown the brakes on at third base, so he holds right there. Thomas Malone holds to a single, and it's runners on the corners with 1 out here in this bottom of the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Andrew Velasquez. Red Wings slightly shift, but playing for double play to end the inning against Andrew Velasquez. Pena, the right-hander, holds the glove high. The 1-0 pitch. This is low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Ronald Pena did not pitch last year. Split 2019 between AA Harrisburg and the old AAA Fresno in the Washington Nationals system. 1-0 pitch. This is outside, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Now 2-0 to Velasquez. It was only a 1-year stint out in Fresno for the Nats. Would have been 2, but of course 2020. Came back to Rochester as part of the new alignment of things. 2-0, fouled back by Velasquez. Hits off the facing of the Geisinger club level and bounces down. Now 2-1. You know, when you look at all of the new affiliations, the Nationals made out pretty good. They're in Wilmington, Delaware. They're in Fredericksburg, Virginia, in a brand new ballpark. Harrisburg, and now Rochester. Pretty good places to be. 2-1 pitch. This is low. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. It certainly beats Hagerstown, Potomac, Fresno, and Harrisburg. A lot more compact. And frankly, an upgrade in facilities just about all around. The 3-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball to the right side of the infield. That snakes through into right field for a base hit. In to score easily from third, Christian Perez. First to third, Thomas Malone, as the throw comes in towards second base. It's an RBI single for Angel Velasquez. 2 runs home in the inning. And the RailRiders with a 6-0 lead. And Socrates Brito coming up.
Just a good mix here of solid contact and well-placed base hits. You get the guy who started all the offense off back in the 4th inning.
RailRiders after the strikeout to Brandon Wagner to start the inning off. Double, double, single, single. 4 straight hits against Ronald Pena. Socrates Brito looking to make it a 5th. First pitch to him, runs inside and hit him on the foot. He was trying to get out of the way of the ball, and you could hear it just playing right off his boots. And the base is now loaded for Donnie Sands. A dangerous proposition for Ronald Pena. Applause from the crowd as Brito up and jogs his way up the first baseline and takes a turn around the bag and will come back, just continuing to work out the foot as Michael Tejera, pitching coach for the Rochester Red Wings, makes a stroll out to the mound and will meet with the entire infield. There's only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. The RailRiders with a 6-0 lead over the Rochester Red Wings. Fans trying to get into it as Donnie Sands, home run and a bases loaded double to win it yesterday, up to the plate with a chance to completely blow the doors off this game. And would take quite a bit of pressure off the RailRiders through these final 2 innings defensively. First pitch from Pena, fastball poured in for a strike. Count 0-1. Sands 1 out of 2 today, an infield single, also has a sac fly and an RBI, so the average still at 500. No ball, 1 strike. Pena set, the pitch. Low and outside for a ball, it's now 1-1. All's quiet on the bullpen front for Rochester. This is all about Pena trying to get out of this inning. He's 21 pitches in, 2 runs, 4 hits, and a hit batter in as well. Only 1 out recorded. The 1-1. Low and outside for ball 2. Same pitch as the 0-1 and same results. A slider that was just yanked low and outside. The 2-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball back to the mound. Glove by Pena. Throw to second for 1. Relay to first is low. Dietrich can't scoop it. And in safely at first base, Sands. Around third in to score is Angel Velasquez, as he comes home as the ball got away from Dietrich on the throw. 2 runs score on a fielder's choice, and the RailRiders lead is now 8-0.
Tremendous snag by Pena on the mound, and I'm almost a little surprised facing home plate he didn't turn his attention to the plate, get the lead runner out, rather than turn the shoulders to second and try to spin that double play.
First pitch to Armando Alvarez misses low in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. See if they end up charging an error to Adrian Sanchez there for the throw that got away from Dietrich that allowed the run to come in and score. 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, and that is what they do. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Alvarez. Obviously you can't assume the double play, but because the runner came in to score and advanced to base because of the throw, charge the error there. Pitch chopped on the ground up the middle, played by the shortstop Arteaga. Double clutch, throw to first in time to get Alvarez. Tremendous play by Humberto Arteaga to bring an end to the bottom of the 7th inning. But the RailRiders strike for 4 runs on 4 hits in the inning. There was a hit batter, an error, and 1 left on base. 8-0 RailRiders to the top of the 8th, looking to close it out on the RailRiders Baseball Network. 8-0 lead for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders to the 8th inning. To tell you about the 8th and 9th, here's the voice of the RailRiders, Adam Marco.
Thank you very much, Joe. Reggie McLean back out for another inning of work. 6 no-hit innings from Luis Gil. He struck out 9, he walked 2. McLean follows with a 3-up, 3-down 7th inning. First pitch runs low and outside. Humberto Arteaga, Ali Castillo, and Jackson Reeds, 6, 7, and 8, due up here in the top half of the 8th inning. McLean ready, kicks and deals. Inner edge for a called strike. There was, in that last half inning, a throwing error charged to the second baseman, Adrian Sanchez. That's what allowed Andrew Velasquez the 8th run to come across. Swing and a foul. Arteaga tips it down. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Sounds like someone's starting a motorcycle on the field.
Does sound that way. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and time taken as there's a little feedback through the PA system here. Different than the previous sound we just heard. Arteaga stepped out. McLean's 1-2, fires a breaking ball that slides outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Arteaga is hitless and 2 at bats. Then again, everybody's hitless. Strikeout and a line out so far for their shortstop. McLean's 2-2. Tapped backwards. Good breaking ball. Just barely caught a piece of it at 80 miles per hour. Scranton Wilkes-Barre trying to reel off the victory here tonight. It would be their 4th consecutive win. Taking you back to Thursday of last week in the rain-shortened series in Worcester. The 2-2. Lined out towards center field. Socrates Brito is on the move. Will make the catch. Had it sized up the whole way. 1 down in the top half of the 8th inning. Ali Castillo now stands in. 20 games for the RailRiders a few seasons ago. Scranton Wilkes-Barre heading into play tonight. A 3.5 game lead over Buffalo. Worcester's fallen 7.5 out. Everybody else is 15.5 or more behind. Syracuse and Buffalo, a 2-2 game in the bottom half of the 4th inning. McLean's first pitch, a fastball taken a little low at 92 miles per hour. There's no one up in the bullpen behind McLean right now, and that's not surprising. He's been a guy that has gone multiple innings more often than not for Scranton Wilkes-Barre this year. Typically a 2-inning guy. Here's a line drive at first, hauled in by Brandon Wagner. 2 away in the top of the 8th inning.
Boy, there's been a couple of hard hit balls against Reggie McLean these last 3 batters. Derek Dietrich in the 7th, and Al Castillo there, but both of them finding gloves as RailRiders have gotten the help they've needed from their defense to do what they're doing.
2 down, top half of the 8th inning, 8-0 RailRiders. The pitch, fastball hits the outer edge. 0-1 on Reeds. Walked in the 6th inning, taken off the bases on the first of a string of fielders' choices. Javi Guerra is a right-hander getting loose out in the bullpen for Rochester. The 0-1 fouled back to the net. Now no balls and 2 strikes the count. Luis Gil got the start, trying to replicate Davy Garcia's quality start. Did that and then some. 6 no-hit innings with 9 strikeouts and 2 walks. Gil in line for his 3rd win. The 2-0, or rather 0-2, checked the swing, appeal to first, didn't go. Scranton Wilkes-Barre Hadn't gotten a starting pitcher through 5 2/3, let alone 6. Prior to yesterday, game 64 of the season. Our first quality start, we've reeled off 2 straight. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Reeds down chasing. That is 8 no-hit innings for the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders pitching staff. No runs, no hits, nobody left. 8-0 to the bottom of the 8th we go. This is RailRiders baseball. 8 runs on 9 hits for the RailRiders. No errors, no runs, no hits, 2 errors for the Rochester Red Wings. Garrett takes over. He's got Matt Pita leading things off.
Last chance for the RailRiders, perhaps, in this one to tack on some insurance before turning things over to the top of the 9th inning. This bottom of the lineup's been fairly productive. Cuevas, Perez, Pita, all factoring into runs scored tonight.
Here's the toss, runs in at the shoulder of Pita. He'll lean back out of the way. Pita, hard hit drive. Out to left field, hauled in. 1 down in the inning. One down. Brandon Wagner to the plate. Wagner followed by Frederick Cuevas here in the bottom half of the 8th inning.
And now some stirring out in the RailRiders bullpen. Someone with the jackets off and getting ready to throw. It is Stephen Ridings warming up to come in the 9th inning.
Here's the toss. Taken for a called strike on Wagner.
Ridings, a guy with a big fastball, hits the upper 90s, can touch triple digits. A little bit of a shaky start his first couple outings, but it's been much better the last couple of times out of the pen.
2 perfect innings for Reggie McLean. There's a called strike at the knees.
A little help from the defense from McLean, a hot shot righted Brandon Wagner at first base last inning. Socrates Brito, couple of running grabs.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Garrett's pitch. Wagner checks the swing. It goes all to the way to the backstop, and the appeal to third. Ryan Wills says no swing, which might be okay. Wagner didn't run, and neither did Jackson reach to try to chase after it. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. So with a little bit of an assist from John Davies and Josh Wetzel, the broadcaster for the Rochester Red Wings, and of course the RailRiders media guide. The 1-2 pitch to Wagner, ripped to the second baseman, hits the ground, pops up in the air, in and out of the glove of Sanchez. And Wagner will get a base hit. Took a skip and an opportunity for Sanchez at second, but not a whole lot he could do with that. Runner aboard here now, Frederick Cuevas to the plate. 4 no-hitters in franchise history. 30-plus years of baseball in Music, and I use plus because we didn't have it in 2020, and there was baseball in 2012, but that was a blip of a different sort. Runner on at first base. Pitch to Cuevas. It's taken for a strike at the knees. It is a little mind-boggling that, and I trust the media guide. It is a publication that we put out.
I was going to say, if it's not right, that makes us the liars.
But without a combined no-hitter in there, it does surprise me a little bit. Somewhere along the way, here's a pitch low and outside, now 1-1 the count. That was bound to happen in a 7-inning game. But that being said,
there hadn't been a combined one-hitter for the RailRiders until this year when they did it against Buffalo, nor had they done it in a 7-inning game until this year either. Just curious.
The 1-1 chased foul. But it is what we have been handed over the years.
Yes.
From
generation to generation.
Generation to generation, going back to 89 and the likes of Mike Cummings, Kent Westling, into the Yankees era, et cetera, et cetera. So this is the facts as we know them. The last no-hitter was September 3rd, 2006. Breaking ball spins low. It was on the road at Rochester, though. It was the Red Barons against the Rochester Red Wings, September 3rd, 2006. Going back to the very end of the Red Barons era. Cuevas reaches out, lines it to left field. Backing up a step is Jake Knoll. He'll make the catch. Now 2 down in the inning, and Christian Perez to the plate. Of course, the Yankees come in, the Phillies move on. Not a bad way in your final couple days as an affiliate to send things off. September 3rd, 2006, and it was Jeremy Cummings. Runner on at first base. Christian Perez, the batter. It was a 1-out single from Brandon Wagner. Pitch to Perez is a strike call. He's 1 for 3 so far. He singled in a run and scored in the RailRiders' 7th inning. 8-0, Scranton Wilkes-Barre in the lead, looking for victory number 43 this year. They had not been 21 games over 500. We have certainly not been 22. The pitch is in for a strike. And barring a massive comeback that has nowhere near started to shape up for Rochester, don't put anything in the book, not writing any decisions in, but feel better about that. It's the drama that is still to come in the top half of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Driven in the air towards left. Knoll a step back, then eases in to make the catch, and that will end a 4-batter inning. 3 flyouts to left field, plus a single mixed in. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. It's on to the 9th. 8-0, Scranton Wilkes-Barre in front, 3 outs away from a no-hitter. This is RailRiders baseball. Top of the 9th, call to the bullpen is made. It is Stephen Ridings out of the bullpen to pitch. 6 no-hit innings from Luis Gil, 2 no-hit innings from Reggie McClain, and now Ridings on to try to finish this off.
Stephen Ridings for the RailRiders this year, no wins, no losses, a 1.80 ERA in 4 appearances. He's given up 4 hits, struck out 6, and walked 2 in 5 innings. Was just really, really good with AA Somerset, earning a promotion up. Had an ERA with the Patriots of 0.47 in 14 appearances to begin the year.
Ridings takes over for Reggie McClain. Carlos Tocci, Rafael Bautista, and Adrian Sanchez are due up here in the top half of the 9th inning. Tocci 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fielder's choice. Scranton Wilkes-Barre looking for victory number 2 out of 2 games in this series. We go again tomorrow, 7:05 on a thirsty Thursday. The trio due up here. Combined 0 for 7 with a walk. Ridings' first pitch to Tocci is a fastball low. No runs, no hits, 2 errors for the Wings. 8 runs on 10 hits for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Ridings, the big right-hander, kicks and deals. Tocci watches a fastball run inside. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Attendance tonight, 3,828 on a Wagon Wednesday. Looking for a little history. Close it out. The 2-0. Tocci, crackback ground ball to second. It's picked up. Matt Pita on to first in time to get Tocci 1 away in the top half of the 9th inning. Now it's Rafael Bautista to the plate. Working on this combined effort tonight between Gil, McClain, and Stephen Ridings. Bautista's 0 for 3. Strikeout, ground out, fielder's choice. 8-0, Scranton Wilkes-Barre in front. Riding's ready, a deep breath. Here's the toss. Fastball inner black at 93 for a called strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down, top half of the 9th inning. Here's the toss. Hit in the air, foul out of play. Now 0-2. Ridings kicks a little dirt after getting his new baseball. No balls, 2 strikes and 1 down. The right-hander deals. Goes off speed, misses low and away. Now ball and 2 strikes on Bautista. Worcester's out ahead of Lehigh Valley in the 7th inning, 5-3. Buffalo now leads Syracuse 3-2. Full scoreboard coming up after our final out tonight. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Riding's a deep breath, exhales the pitch. Elevated towards shallow right field. Andrew Velasquez, Matt Pita going out. That is the right fielder Frederick Cuevas making the catch, calling off Pita. 2 down in the inning, and Adrian Sanchez steps to the plate. Sanchez had a monster game in the series opener. The reason why Rochester probably could have, should have won it. He was 3 for 5 with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in, and now stands between Scranton Wilkes-Barre and a no-hitter. Ridings comes set. Sanchez, a right-hander. The first pitch, foul backwards. 0-1 count, top of the 9th inning, 2 outs. An 8-0 game, 1 out away. Ridings spins the baseball in his right hand. The 0-1 to Sanchez. Crack bat on the infield. Fielded by Velasquez at second. Throws on to first, and that is it. The Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders combine to no-hit the Rochester Red Wings. Luis Gil, Reggie McLean, Stephen Ridings. 3 pitchers combine for a 9-inning no-hitter. It's an 8-0 win for the RailRiders. The first no-hitter since 2006 for Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
Wow. What a phenomenal pitching performance by Luis Gil, followed up by Reggie McLean, and then the nerves that Stephen Ridings had to feel coming in the 9th inning. And Gil is out there celebrating with his teammates, getting mobbed. A standing ovation from the crowd when it comes to a close. What an absolute gem of a ball game thrown by the RailRiders. They've had some good ones this year. None can match up to this. Just 2 walks, 1 in the 1st inning, 1 in the 6th inning. And those are the base runners for Rochester tonight. Simply marvelous.
8 runs on 10 hits, no errors for the RailRiders, no runs, no hits, 2 errors for the Red Wings. Our post-game show starts next. This is RailRiders Baseball.
Combined no-hitter.